Helen Laird. I think that's how it's pronounced there. Has shown an interest in the electromorphic communication device. If you're not well aware, it's the Victorians had all sorts of things that they tried out, and actually, strangely enough, television was given to us by the spiritualists, because it's through their attempt to contact the other side with various gadgets and things that they accidentally discovered things like television and radio, actually, strangely enough as it is. So a lot of the discoveries were accidental. But one of the devices that took my interest was the electromorphic communication device, and it's basically this old sort of there's basically a board. I don't know if you can see that there, a wooden board, and it's just a bulb mounted on. In this case, we're using a 9-volt battery. It's like a modern version of it, in the sense we're using a 9-volt battery. It's just been connected there, and we've got various wiring. The black wire there going through to there and going round, and then of course the red wire going back. Here there's a gap. This is the switch. It's supposed to be a switch. Of course, when we put the I thought we'd just use this spirit board here. This and we'd just place that here and just pop the device on there. If that may encourage any energies, I don't know. And then we just have a little 9-volt battery, and that just goes in there like so. And it's the little bulb is like a little torch type bulb thing, isn't it? It's, as you can see there, it's just a little sort of get them from anywhere, them can't you really? And then it just goes in that mounting there. That's wired up. Helen Laird was interested because with the electromorphic communication device, it's believed that spirits could be contacted in the sense of when the light is on, when you have a light on, and spirits can often interfere with the lighting and make the light flicker and turn it off and back on again. In this particular scenario, when the energy level rises, the gap here will be bridged, and hopefully it will help light the light. Of course, the battery here powers the light, so we're okay there, aren't we, for that little scenario. Sadly, the person who invented the device was executed. There's a copy here of the certificate, the sentence of death there. Very sad when you consider. I suppose these things are gravely sort of understood, aren't they? With one thing and another, and there are various other newspaper cuttings from the time here I got from the local library that point out the time when it was discovered. I'll just keep that in a little drawer. Let's pop that in there now and return that to the library. Yeah, but that's got to go back. He'll let me keep it for about, let me keep it for 3 weeks actually, then it's got to go back to the archives. So that's that. It's, as I say, it's a very sad indictment on us all, and we try our best to do these things. But in this particular case, of course, Helen Laird shown an interest because of her son Stephen, and wondered if we could give it a go. To see if we could ask Stephen to join us. Now, at this stage, I've had very sort of, I want to stress that I've had very little success with it. Not that I've had no success whatsoever, but very few results in the sense of questionable. But of course, here's the switch, and of course, if the light comes on, then clearly something is happening. But what, we don't know. Helen wanted to contact her son Stephen, and I did PM her on Facebook actually, and I said, look, well, really, the light isn't going to flash, say, if we can sort of agree once for yes, twice for no, even if it's something like that, when you get raps and things like that and whatever. We can only sort of try and see if we can get Spirit to flash the light once for yes, twice for no, etc. So there'd have to be questions. If you've got a series of questions you'd like to ask Stephen, then of course we can try and do that. So she PM'd me with some questions, and so we can go through them in the list on screen here. So anyway, that's the everything we've connected up there, and we're all ready to go. I've got the mediumship cards here, and if we don't get much success out of this, at least we can try and get Stephen's energy in through this way. Maybe we could try that anyway, and just see if we can invite him in with the cards as well, and that would be nice, wouldn't it? Really, because if the question can't be answered with the device, then of course we've got backup. So I think what we'll do, we will actually, just right at the beginning now, we will invite Stephen in this way, and it might encourage, might encourage the light to flash, with probably more hope than purpose, but you never know, do you? This is, these things, I was going to do it on a full moon, but it's thereabouts near as damn it a full moon, because it's usually 3 days before, 3 days after anyway. It's 31st, 1, 2, 3. So it's roughly still a full moon really, although waning now. It's nevertheless it's pretty strong. So normally we would put our hands on the table here, and then ask for Stephen. But we'll shuffle the cards and we'll just see what Stephen Roy's name is, isn't it, Helen? So, Spirit of Stephen Roy, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Stephen, through these cards and this lamp, and move among us. Spirit of Stephen Roy, I ask for your presence. Commune with us, Stephen Roy, and move among us. Spirit of Stephen Roy, I ask for your presence. Commune with us, Stephen Roy, through these cards and this lamp, and move among us. Blessed be to Stephen Roy and all absent friends. We'll cut the deck there, and Stephen should have left a message anyway, regardless of what happens, and we'll probably investigate and see what that is in a moment. But first of all, we'll welcome you, Stephen, to our setting. We welcome you to... I thought I heard a knock then, but it's my hand knocking that there. That's me getting a bit paranoid now. Thank you, Stephen, for your setting and for your presence. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for sharing any messages through these cards at least. And we hope that maybe you can communicate through this lamp here, this spirit lamp, Séance spirit lamp that we've just got here. We've wired it up, Stephen, and if you can, Helen has got your mother there. I've got some questions she wants answering. I don't know. Let's just see what's one of the questions. The first question is, are you with Papa Laird? That's one of the first questions we'll ask. So, Spiritus Stephen Roy, if we acknowledge your presence, we thank you for your time, your energy, and that you filled these cards. But are you here with us now, Stephen? If you are, could you kindly flash the light for us, please? Stephen, we acknowledge that you're here, because all words are true, Stephen, and we acknowledge that you're here. We acknowledge your presence. Even in your memory, Stephen, we acknowledge your presence. Are you here to communicate with us up on this night? Stephen Roy, are you? We ask. Could you please interact with the light? Could you raise your energy in some way that you can interact with this lamp here? Thank you very much, Stephen. I think that I don't know. Was that a fault with it, or it's a bit iffy, that, isn't it? Stephen, I don't know. You flashed once. I assume that you are there, are you, Stephen? Yes. Okay. Thanks very much. We acknowledge that you've left a message on the on here. We acknowledge that you've left a message there for us, Stephen. Your mother has a series of questions that she wants to ask you. Are you prepared to answer those questions, Stephen? Stephen, your mother's written down some questions. She PM'd me on Facebook, actually, strangely enough, and she wrote down some questions. I just want really to ask you if you can interact with that at all. She just wants to know. Are you all right to answer those questions at all, please? Right, okay. Fair enough. Okay then, Stephen. Like I say, thank you for your present. The cards here we've got here, and of course this light here. So we'll just try and leave it just there in the centre of this spirit border. Just thought we'd do that because that would help raise the energy, wouldn't it? Really, and of course it's all just centre it there nicely, neaten it up for you there, Steve, and then it's all nice and prim and proper, as you would say, if you don't mind the pun. I wonder if you could answer. You're prepared to answer some questions, so we'll fire away with some questions from your mum, I think, there, Stephen, if you don't mind. She wants to know: Are you with Papa Laird? Are you? You are. Oh, right. Okay, that was quick. Okay, Stephen. Thank you very much. Now, she's also written there. Have you been leaving signs that we haven't been picking up on? Have you been leaving any signs that they haven't been picking up on? Have you been leaving any signs, or is it just the signs and omens of, I suppose I'm thinking of like the owl spirit, you know, the ancestral spirit guides and things. But have you been leaving any signs for your mum there that she may not have picked up on? I don't know. Can you try? She said also, she's put, can you try and leave us signs? I'll try to leave us signs there. I want to know if you can try and leave any signs. Would you do that for your mum there, or not? You would? Oh. Well, you don't know if you've been leaving any, but at least you'll try then. No harm in trying, is there, Stephen? No harm in trying there. That's always the case, isn't it? Let me just let's just see now. I've just got to get my hand on the mouse here and just scroll down a bit further down here. Have you been on it? We're yeah, right, we got that there. Now also your mum's written here, she wants to know where you at. I don't know if this is a silly question or not, Stephen, but she wants to know, were you at your funeral? And if so, were you okay with well, we'll ask that one in a minute, Stephen. I'll just ask you first. Were you at your funeral? Where was your spirit present at your funeral, there, Stephen? When your empty shell was sent back to the earth? It was. Yes. If you want to say no, flash the light twice, Stephen, and then we'll know the answer's no. If there are any no's, we've had no no's yet, have we? We've just had a flash, haven't we, really? Were you... So, mother wants to know about that. if you were, considering it looks as though you were there, were you okay with what they did for you, the do that they had for you? Were they, you know, all the things they did for you? Were you okay about that? Were you okay with it? Was it okay, Stephen, for what they did? Stephen, was it okay for what they did for you? Stephen, was it alright but for what they did for you there? Oh, right, okay. It was. Okay, thanks, Stephen. Thanks for that one. Do you know where your ashes are? That's an interesting question, isn't it? Your mother just written when she PM'd me. Do you know where your ashes are? After the cremation, of course. Do you know where your ashes are, Stephen? Stephen, do you know where your ashes are? Your mum just wants to know if you know where your ashes are at all. You do. Is that a yes or a? I would assume it's a yes, isn't it? Do you? I answered that one. Are you happy with your? Yes. She's written here. Are you happy? Are you happy with your headstone, Stephen? Are you happy with that? Is that okay for you? Are you happy with your headstone? Stephen, are you happy with your headstone? I don't know what's going on here. Stephen, are you happy with your headstone? Let me just take a sip of my coffee. Are you happy with your headstone, Stephen? I don't know if no answer is if it's a no or a yes or whatever. I don't know. Stephen, are you happy with your headstone there? Oh, right, okay. The energy levels are rising again, are they? Right, okay, that's fair enough. There's no rush. And she also there's one more final question here, Stephen. I suppose it might be a silly question, but nevertheless, no questions are silly really. Just wants to know, will you meet us when it is our time? Will you meet him when it is her time, when it is their time? Will you meet them there? Will there be a welcoming committee there where you are in the Summerland, Steve? Will you meet them where you are? Oh, yeah, that was a long one, wasn't it? Yes, okay. Well, your mother just says thank you again, thank you very much. HX there, HX. So she sends her love to you, I'm sure, and we want to. We're going to look at the cards now. Thank you very much, Stephen, for this lamp. Is it okay if we now look at the cards? Okay, it is, right, okay. What we'll do, I'm going to move the lamp aside now, if you don't mind, Stephen, because we've got not really any more questions there for you. So I just want really to, I suppose we could just pop the, I'll leave it there. I think it doesn't matter, does it? We need just a bit of space actually, don't we? So I think what I'm going to do, I'll just move the device over, put it back in there, put it back in this little case over here, and then pop it there, and then it'll be okay just for now. And what we'll do, just with the energy being on that board and everything, I thought we'll just dish the cards out. Maybe we'll just deal them out on that board, if that's okay with you there, Stephen. That'll be nice, won't it? Just to pop it there, and then we'll just stick. I think we'll just stick the cards here, shall we? Just stick them there where we can see them, and we'll just see what message you've got. Now, bearing in mind the answers that you gave, I mean, they were all a yes, really, weren't they? I don't know if they were a yes or if it was just, but there was a response anyway. You'd think if you could ask a question that you know the answer's no to as well, it could be like a test question, couldn't it? But we didn't do that, did we? It doesn't matter. It's okay, Stephen. We'll now just pull out a card now, knowing that you're here. Knowing that you're here, I'm going to now just rotate and flip the first card here to just see what you have actually got to say here through these cards. Each card has a pre-written message on it, and it says, "We will be together again." Isn't that with your mother just asking that question? Now that you're giving me the willy, Stephen, and your mother is. So if you don't mind, Helen, stop it. Stop it now. I know there's a connection between you and your son, but stop it, please. Will you meet us when it's our time? And he's just saying we will meet again. Look, it just says it. God, that's the first one. You've seen the card shuffle. You know I couldn't have fiddled them because they've been there all the time, haven't they? So really, I think that sort of answers the question straight away. That there's something going on there, isn't there? Clearly, Stephen. Is that all you want to say? What I normally do is I normally pull out 3 cards, a bit like a beginning, middle, and end. So let's just see what other cards are coming up. What's this one here? Let's just see what that one says. That one just says it was my time to go. Just wanting to just let you know that it was just my time, and that's just how it is. It was my time to go. We will be together again though, but it was just my time to go this time. And when it's your time to go, we'll meet again. But for now, it was just my time to go. And I think that's what he's just trying to affirm, really, or clarify, or whatever the word is. Just move my glasses case. I should be wearing those glasses, actually, because I lost them the other day. But at least I know where they are. Let's just see what this third card has to say from Stephen. He's just saying, I have a new understanding. Is this, if you've got a new understanding, is this why you're able to communicate with the electromorphic communication device, maybe? Maybe a new understanding about that, I don't know, but a new understanding, maybe, but it's that first one that's not bothering me, but giving me the willies. Sorry, Alan, but you just have that way with doing things. It's that connection you've got with Stephen, I think. But he's just saying it was my time to go, and that, and that yes, I have a new understanding. Of course you will have, won't you? I want to pull out one more card here because I just feel as though one more card is like there's something hasn't been finished off or said or what they are. My mind is free, Mum. I got a funny feeling as though that's meant to come out now as we've just dealt it. As if, having you understanding now, Mum, my mind is free. And my mind is free now. I know I can either communicate with you or I don't know. I honestly don't know. But that first card was very sort of creepy, that, wasn't it, Stephen? But your mind is free anyway, laughing and joking apart there, you know. I'm sure you got a sense of humour there, Steve, and knowing that we will be together and we'll all be together again, and it may be, no doubt, when I've passed, we'll all be together. We can have a bloody reunion about how we were mucking about with the device, trying to raise the energy levels, when all we had to do was probably wait anyway. We could all be together in that spiritual sense anyway. This is the thing, it's patience, isn't it, Stephen? And your mind is free, but of course, is your mother's mind free? I don't know. I just feel another card coming here. I don't know why, I don't know what this is about, but certainly there. I'm just saying that we have been together in dreams, so clearly that although we'll be together again, nevertheless we've been together in dreams. We're getting a head start here, aren't we? We've just been together in a flashing light as well, by the looks of it. I think what we're going to now do, Stephen, there, I think we'll wrap this one up just for now, if you don't mind. You want another card? I just feel one more card wanting to just come here. He's just he's just saying I feel healthy and happy. He feels okay, so that's good, isn't it? That's nice to know. I think with this, I think we'll now get the cards here, and I'm going to just get Stephen's cards there, if you don't mind now, Stephen, just for now, and we're just going to rotate them nicely there, and just place them neatly there, and then what we're going to do next, we'll just place the rest of the deck on top of your cards, Stephen, and we'd like to just now say goodbye to you, Stephen, for now, until the next time. It was great having a chat, and thanks for interacting with the lamp. If it was you or whatever spirit, I assume it was Stephen, he seemed to answer at the time when we asked anyway. So your mum will know if it was you or not anyway, won't she? And it's that first card that still does me head in. With you sort of flashing the light saying sort of like yes on that, and then that bloody first card coming up, Stephen. You got away with words anyway. You're a card sharp even now. Let's put it that way. So I think really we know that love is the law, love is the bond, isn't it, between mum and son, and Mary, did we meet, Stephen? Mary, do we now part? And Mary, may we meet again. And for now, we just close our eyes and we imagine a light shining through a door. You know, that portal on that sort of doorway where your mind is free there, Stephen. We can now just imagine that light shining, close our eyes, imagine that light shining brightly through a door, and then a door closing on the portal, slowly, and the light gradually fading out until it's out. And then we open our eyes again and return back to the darkness of this cruel, harsh world. And for now, we give thanks to you, Stephen, for your presence, your time and your energy. We now say farewell, blessed be, to Stephen Roy and all absent friends.